Morning, everyone. Welcome back to the Flow Zone Trader channel. Hope you all had a fantastic weekend. Happy Easter. Hopefully, a lot of you got some rest in, enjoyed some much needed time with your loved ones and with the family. Okay, and you should be coming to the charts today feeling fresh. You had a long weekend, extra day there. You should be feeling fresh. If you're not feeling fresh today, if you're tired, back off this market. All right, make sure you're going through your daily checklist every single day. Monday is no different. Have you eaten enough? Had your coffee? Are you hydrated? Are you feeling mentally and physically well and able to be at the chart trading? It's one of the hardest jobs to do, so you got to make sure you're giving yourself edge by feeling healthy. All right, lots to get through this morning. Gapping down overnight and a bit of a wash down in this market so far as we trade down to some very, very key levels. So as always, we're going to start on the higher time frame chart, starting on the weekly. Here we go. So you can see the gap down. Here is previous week close. All right, we gap down overnight. We haven't filled that gap. And well, not to settlement anyway. And we're starting to roll right now. Last week's low already in jeopardy. Now, if we start to lose that, we're going to come into major pivots on the daily charts and some of the hourly. So if we move into the daily, you'll see what I'm talking about. These lows here are absolutely key because this here, right, is a huge amount of single prints from when this is when we had tariff news, roll over. Oh, just kidding, 90-day pause. Now we're coming and back testing that move. So these become key when we think about where we're heading into. Are we able to hold a golden zone pullback? Do we need to fill these single prints in here before going upside? Or is the momentum down there going to be heavy? And are we just going to start and continue to put weakness into this market and come back down into this key area on the daily chart? Okay, so that's what we're looking at today. Are we going to find bids in and around here for a reaction to try and drive back upside? And then can we get through some of these key areas if we're going to do that? For more clues, we're going to have to go down into an hourly chart because it's very, very hard to see what's going on here. But what I would say from the daily, we are still stuck between Bollinger Band, 20-day, 5-day. 5-day, still trading downwards. 20-day, still trading downwards. Bollinger Band, still trading downwards. We're not at a point yet where these have crossed and we're looking for that squeeze play upside. Maybe it comes later in the week or next week. Maybe it never comes at all. Okay, so far, I would say pressure is downside, but bulls are trying to put in a higher low here. They're still trying to put in this move here to move higher, but so far, it's not shown a willingness to hold this level. All right, so that's what we're looking at. Let's move to an hourly chart, and you'll see what I'm talking about. We're going to focus on this chart right here. So the levels we're looking at are after this drive up. What day was this on? 9th. On the 9th, we left point of control. We had a big drive up. We left volume down here and we drove up. All right. And since then, we've been back testing some of these key levels. Now, sellers had the opportunity on this day here on the 10th to completely fill these single prints here, but they didn't. All right. We found bids. Really, it should have held this level here. All right. If it was going to hold it. I think it had 2 closes under it. Right. You would have want bulls to step in there. They were a bit late to the party, but eventually they stepped in. But what did we get then? We just built out a giant range, didn't we? This here has been the range for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sessions. That includes overnight sessions. All right, so for 3 days, basically, this has been the range right here. We trade down, we trade up, we're trading down. Do we trade up now is the question. Do we come and clean out this liquidity here and trade upside, or do we find failures and do we need to back test down here and down here? These are the questions. This is what's up for grabs this morning and the rest of the week. If it goes sideways this morning, we can very, very easily, there's a few trades in here. It can do a morning drive out the gate for a back test of some of these levels. All right. And at that point, it needs to make a decision. Does it get acceptance above for a drive higher, or does it find sellers for a retest of these lows? That would be the first 2 trades. Squeeze up, retest this low, right? So offering you a long and a short. If it squeezes up and finds acceptance here, then it's going to be looking for that higher low to come and clean up all these levels here that we did overnight. I'm going to go into these in more detail shortly, and this new week opening gap also available. If we get a morning flush and we keep rejecting the overnight lows, which so far is what I'm seeing in this tape, right, then we're looking for a trade down into this old H1 low, possibly to clean up all the way down to here, 500, 17,500. And if it lets go of that, you know, I'm not going to say that these are out the question. Doesn't have to be today, can be another day. But again, if you get something like this, it's possible. All right. So that would be that move. This would be like a trap move. This would be a pop to fail, and this would be an acceptance to go higher. They're all available right now, folks. It's just where we are right now. If you look at the TPO, this chart right here, I did a video on this at the weekend for free on YouTube, so it might be worth some of you watching that. If you think about this, from, I'd say, sort of these old value area highs right here, and these single prints, and this side here, okay, this is just a range. Right, and we need to wait to see if we get acceptance outside of that range. If we get acceptance outside of this range, where are we going to test? Probably this volume cluster down here, right? This demand block. If we don't get acceptance, then we might, maybe we fill these TPOs, but maybe these are single prints, maybe we don't, and we drift back up, and we've got volume here, here, and a gap here. Again, everything available right now. Unfortunately, it's just how it is. We're not coming to the chart on a Monday with, this is the game plan, it can only do one thing, and that's it. Everything, absolutely everything is available. But what I would say is we're gapping down 100s. So we are opening here in demand. Any push that fails into old value area lows or point of controls, if the sellers come back in here, we're going to at least retest the low of day. If we get acceptance underneath, we're going to roll. That would be the pop to fail I'd be looking for if we were going to do that move. Let's go up a time frame. We can see it a little bit more here. All right, 3 key levels. Overnight low, this orange box here. Oh, it's not going to let me draw. Let's try this. There we go. This orange box here. If we keep rejecting this, potentially for a move lower. Why we got this blue box here? We had demand structure in here once, twice, 3 times arguably, and then the low one down here. So location for a short needs to either be higher with a fail or underneath with a rejection. Remember, we're not just going to slam short in demand. It's asking to get in problems. So this is your first key area, this orange box, Globex low. The next one, I would say previous day low. All right, because overnight in Asia, we pushed up. We tried to fill the gap. Well, we pretty much did fill the gap. We found some fails. Let go of, hang on, is this even the right session? Let's just make sure here. Yeah, it is. Okay, cool. Pushed up. Tried to fill gap into old settlement. This is your overnight high. Find some fails. Tries to hold previous day low like we did earlier. Washes underneath. Okay, there's the snap. There's your breakdown. And there's the retest. All right, so if we think about this in terms of chart pattern, it was actually quite nice overnight. Trading view, please let me draw. Please, please. There we go. All right, so nice. Head and shoulders. Snaps the neckline. Builds a bear flag for the retest of previous day low, and washes again down. So we've got some quite clear levels here to risk off. Here's your first level. Here's your second level. Here's your third level. That's what the market's respecting overnight. And underneath, we've got liquidity. What has just gone on there? I do not want to load a strategy. There we go. And underneath, we've got liquidity. You've got a wick low here, here, and here. So maybe this, maybe this, maybe this later in the day. All of these things available. Let's have a quick look at the VIX, and then we'll go over the MAG, because the MAG are weak. Remember, folks, this week we have some big earnings coming. Tesla and Google this week as well. Back into earnings season. Okay, let's have a look at the VIX first. VIX remains in a range as far as I'm concerned. Bear with me 1 second. Sorry, folks. Wife leaving for a business trip for the week, so I won't see her until Thursday night. All right. VIX, where was I? VIX still in a range. Absolutely in a range. Highs of, let's just call it 35. Lows of, let's just call it 30. All right. In an upward sloping channel in a range. It's going to remain that way until it proves otherwise. If VIX starts breaking out of 32, 33 today for a drive up to 35, expect this market to have more weakness. If VIX starts losing a bid at 31, I expect it to try and fill a bid all the way down, fill the gap all the way down to 30. All right, so that's where my eyes are drawn towards today on the VIX. Let's look at the MAG. Let's have a quick look at the MAG. How are we doing for time here? A little bit of time. All right, Apple. You're going to see a similar story here. Big gap down. All right, 4-point gap down. Retested previous day low overnight in, well, pre-market, found sellers. Weak. Meta, gapping down. Retested previous day low, pre-market, finding sellers. Looks very, very weak here for a bigger flush moment. If it can't hold this bid here, it's going to come down into 50s, mid-50s. Amazon, same story, isn't it? So weak. Crazy. Gapping down. Obviously, this affected by China massively. Gapping down. Didn't even get near previous day low. That is a big gap. There's a big old gap for Amazon pre-market. Google, same story. Holding on right now to previous day low, but gapping down as well. Google, I would say, one of the most protected names versus tariffs, but still weak. Meta, weak, gapping down. Puking under PDL right now. Nvidia, gapping down, trying to find a bit of a bid here, but again, very weak underneath all daily levels. It's trying to, that 100 is going to be key. Stay heavy under that. We're going to keep going down. And Tesla, remember Tesla earnings coming Tuesday evening after the bell. Tesla doesn't look good. Very, very weak. Very, very weak. So market in a sell. I mean, there's no doubt about it. Tech is weak right now, folks. Tech is absolutely weak right now coming in to start the week. Remember, this is brand new week. We had OPEX on Thursday, so we've got new options chain starting now. Just be patient at the open, all right? Let them do what they want the first 5-15 minutes. Let's see what happens here. Let's let the market make a decision. If we're going to go for that squeeze, all right, I'm not convinced I'm going to take it, but I'm going to try and convince myself to take it. If we get acceptance over Globex lows, and I think that we've got a squeeze, let's say if we trigger through 18,144, might as well call it 50, maybe there's a move up towards VWAP and 200. So, you know, there's a 50 plus point move there at least. And at that point, if we get through that, then maybe it goes for that move to Globex highs. Really, I'd like to be focused on the short, unless we get acceptance and we really start to prove, like the best long will come later in the week if we get acceptance up and over here. If we want to clean all this up, we just think this is a downtrend. It's very possible at the open we do something like this. Make sure I'm on the right chart. I don't know if it gets this high, but it's very possible it wants to clean some of this up before finding sellers for the pro trend to come back down. So it's one thing I'm aware of. Then I'm thinking in my head, do I want to take the long for that move, or do I just let longs, you know, come piling into the market and then let shorts join? So I'm just going to wait and see. Let's get this on the right chart and get through some good mornings. How long have I got? 40 seconds. All right, let's do this. Who's here today and who's ready? Let's have a quick look. Morning, Clint, Miguel, John, Marek, Ian, Jeff, Famtab, Vince, Paul, Jesse M, Thumper, Caladin, Emmett, Ramus, Exister, Kat, Juan Carlos, Aga, Arturo, Liron, ERF, Christy, Jack, Brandon, Phenom, Brad, Exister, Arcris, Trentry, Jack Hudkins, Jeffrey, Raphael, Aid, Abe. That's hard to do. Tongue twister there. Aid and Abe. Michael, Aaron, DJ Noah, DK, Brian, Radar, Lindell, Nick, John Lucan. Good morning, everyone. Let's have a good day. Market open right here, right now. And let's see how we go. Starting the day with a morning drive by the look of it. Up towards those Globex lows, towards that lower time frame algo. And just make sure my ETFs are all set up here. SPY coming up for a drive towards the VWAP. Or ES, I should say. SPY a little way away. Let's mark these out before I forget, like we always do. Where's the open? Right here. Let's get an anchored VWAP on that open because we're printing away from the anchor right now. All right, folks, let's see how we go here. So, testing Globex lows, like we talked about, if we get acceptance through this, there is a possible squeeze up to come and clear out some liquidity, maybe towards VWAP, maybe towards 200s. If it can't get acceptance above here and sellers come in very, very early, I expect us to retest the lows we just created and possibly those H1 lows. I'm not in a hurry here, that's for sure. ES with a morning drive here, trying to get back up towards VWAP, same levels across the board right now. It is a question of Globex acceptance above for a potential squeeze higher. If we keep failing here, we come and retest those lows currently. Sorry, folks, I need to get these ninja charts sorted here. There we go. All right, so it's holding New York open for now. Let's have a look at the mag. Oof. Tesla, 4.5% down, more than that. Nvidia, 2.25% down. Meta, almost 2% down. Google, almost 2% down. Amazon, 2% down. Microsoft, 1.26% down. Apple, 2.2% down. All right, so market's heavy. VIX opening the day around 32s. Remember, we've got supply up at 34.50 to 35, and we've got demand all the way down at 30. And we're opening up at the top of a range here, well, top of a intermediate range. If it can keep finding bids above 32s, there is the chance for the VIX to drive higher today. If it starts to wash, then maybe we get a little relief rally in this market. Not much news coming today. Very, very probable of chop. Okay, so we're still inside. Remember what we went over on the hourly and the TPOs? We are still inside. I'd say from a TPO point of view, if we can back test 350s somewhere around there and find sellers, that would be a decent area to think about a short. Old value area lows, acceptance through that, and we go for a giant old squeeze, I'd say. So here's the morning drive like we talked about. The question is, how far can we go now? Does it want to come and test these guys over here? And if we get through that, Globex all the way up here. So in fact, let me grab this. We can put one of these up here for you. So main Globex up here, but this is definitely a key pivot where we failed PDL overnight. And let's just let it shake out here. We will see how we go. Nvidia 99s. Nvidia might want that 100 back test. Not in a hurry here. SPY right at its VWAP, trying to reclaim VWAP. Expect a certain degree of chop here this morning, I'm going to be honest with you. This is not an ideal open for shorts to get involved. So they need a drive higher to backtest to slap into short side, or they need failures with clear rejections and backtest to go lower. This might be a short-term, like a very low time frame opportunity for a long, which I'm currently not interested in. Good morning, Peter. Remember, be careful with the ATR in this market. It takes one headline to move this market very, very quickly. ES relative weakness here. Morning drive up, finding sellers. Very surprised how weak ES is here. It was normally the stronger one, given that we've had a strong banking sector. We're just balanced around that Globex level. You can see it's absolutely key right now. If ES finds a bid down here around 45s, can protect that overnight low and have an attempt to go higher. So far, relative weakness on the open on the ES. Gonna let this just jostle around. We're only 5 minutes into the day. I'd like shorts today, but I'd like it to be very clear and obvious. Not in a hurry, that's for sure. 520 on the SPY, definitely key. Let go of that. Those overnight lows are not far away. It is an absolute battle here. Rejecting Globex so far. If we stay heavy versus Globex and sellers really take control here, the drive might be over and we might see some violence in this market early on. I'd really like this to go higher first, but it is one of the things that's possible. If they keep rejecting the Globex lows, they can't find bids in this market. If there's no one at home, we are going lower. Back to the open print here. Sellers stepping in so far this morning. Morning drive into Globex being met with some selling. Not much on the tape. There's the selling. If ES doesn't find a bid here, we're going to start an aggressive sell. Looks very, very heavy here. Waiting to see. If pops start to fail now, I'm going to think about joining short because we're clearly failing that lower time frame algo. Failing. Here we go. Coming into demand areas. Joining this now. Looking for more failures. How low can we go? Momentum coming in. Taking out the lows there on ES, watching to see how they act now after sweeping pre-market. I want to see fails in here now. It needs to fail in here for any continuation. Recovery of here, then this can be the trap. So really, risk is this. If they stay heavy versus New York and stuff, then I think we just move lower today, honestly. But tapping into those big, big levels on the hourly that we talked about. What is that low on the hourly? 68. If we let go of 68, we go 29. If we let go of that, we go 913. Staying short here, looking for continuation lower if it will let us. We start to recover though, like I said, not interested in recoveries over New York or over flow zones. I want to see this drive down, create a new low here, ideally. Looking good. We went over pre-market. If we reject Globex, we keep looking for lower. Looking really good here, folks. Just be careful if it keeps holding these the bottom of this blue zone. Remember, we said there's liquidity down here. If we let go of this, all the way down here, if we let go of that, we've got single prints all the way down here. All right, that's what we're looking to. If it's going to let go of these, we're looking to really fill those single prints potentially. If sellers really take charge, they've got to come in and take charge here. Watching ES. VIX needs to break out here as well. VIX at that 3250s. It's at 3246. I want to see VIX break through 32. Let's just call it 33. 3290s really. VIX at previous day high right now. I want to see VIX get acceptance above previous day high for a rip higher, which will increase pressure into the market. I've already taken a lot of profit here. Just waiting now. ES showing an unwillingness to move lower. Like I said, I'm surprised that ES was the weaker one this morning, given the banking sector has been pretty strong. Still looks good here. 5 minutes until we set that orb. Flow zone's a little bit flat here. would have liked them to sort of start speeding up, but we're underneath New York VWAP, we're underneath flow zones, we're underneath that New York Open. Again, that orange box is absolutely key. If we reprice above that orange box, backtest it and find bids, we get a squeeze moment. All right, so that's your risk right now. Otherwise, we're looking for shorts lower. Until we get that, we're looking for shorts lower. My thesis will change if we do this move here. All right, if we get above this and base, then I think we're going higher. We have swept. Remember, we've just taken out everyone here. All right, so we're in short for this move here, covering here. I would like another leg down if it was set up. I want to be very careful because it's taken a low-hanging fruit right now. I'm currently flat on this, waiting for the next setup. Still think there's a chance for this to move lower. Rejecting New York there. VIX trying to get going here. Heaviness there. Can they make a new low here? They will need to make a new low here to make shorts comfortable. If they fail to make new lows here and they keep absorbing it, shorts will start to feel uncomfortable. If they cannot get that breakdown that they're looking for, shorts will start to feel uncomfortable. You're looking for that bear flag to start playing out. You can see VWAP, New York VWAP so far playing out, holding it down. They will need to get this breakdown. If they fail to get a breakdown, it's where shorts get stuck. Remember, we said location not ideal, but that pop over Globex and trade back underneath look pretty good. Just want to see if the market can stay heavy now. Is there a way of them staying heavy now? That 100's key here. They keep trying to absorb around 100. Battle around 100 right now. If they let go of this, we might get a wash here. Can they let go of 90s, wash down for a new low of day underneath 60s, and move down to the bottom side of the range? I'm in this short for this bear flag to play out. Tight stop on it, because I'm very, very concerned about bulls coming in here and trapping. I need to see VIX get going, and I need to see ES start to roll with it for confluence. Goes the VIX. 3250 is key. Can it break out 3250, 3290 and get going here? Here we go. Beautiful. Can we make a new low day here in the market? That's what we're looking for. Don't want absorption down here. Not much on the tape. I just want to see us get going here. Need to make a new low here. If we fail to make a new low, it will be a problem, folks. Cannot say this enough. If we fail to make a new low, this is where shorts will get stuck. Must make a new low here. 20 seconds till we get that opening range. We can also wait for that opening range to build out. There's your opening range. Testing towards the lows. Again, we have taken one low-hanging fruit. You've got to be careful when we've done that. But really, we'd like to see expansion and leg down here. again, cannot be clear enough. If we fail to break the low, this is where shorts will get stuck. Protecting the orb so far. VIX trying to get a base above that 3250 right now to build a flag to go higher on the VIX is what we would like to see. Market so far in fairly tight range this morning, 104 points. Considering what we've had more recently, that is. Still think this market wants to move lower. It wants to move lower. It's just, can it do it right now? Here it comes. We need a break of that low now, folks. We want a break of that low. Looking good. Can we get that breakdown at the lows here for an expansion? Looking good, looking good, looking good. One more big drive should do it. Not much here on the book. Really not much here on the book. Trump talking, is he really? For fuck's sake. Does this guy ever shut up? Honestly, he's starting to really pay me off, this man. There's been a slowing down of the economy unless Mr. Too Late, a major loser, lowers interest rates. No, the economy slowed down because of you, mate, not because of anything else. Virtually no inflation, he says. Oh, I can't wait for the CPI print next month. Eat his words. Oh, I don't really want to touch this if he's blabbering his mouth with lies. I don't think the market will care about what he's saying unless he says something about tariffs here. So low taken there, folks. We're in a sell here. Low hanging fruit taken. We're in a sell. We're looking for shorts. Obviously, you've got Trumpy boy talking, so just be careful here. How to ruin plays. People like him blabbering their mouth. He can't leave anything alone. Have you noticed that? Every time we open, whether it's the New York Open, the Asia Open yesterday, last week was the same. He cannot be quiet when the market opens up. He has to talk, looking after his own little portfolio, I'm sure. VIX looking like it wants to get going here. There's the swipe on what he's saying. This is what I'm saying. This is why I'm not in this right now. If he's going to start talking on a Monday morning, he's going to absolutely ruin positions. So let him say what he wants for a minute. My bias is still short side until it proves otherwise. My bias will change long side if we can reclaim Globex. If we start reclaiming Globex, then maybe there's a squeeze up into here. But until that point, I'm thinking about how can I get short for this for a move lower? We have to be very careful about positionings of the short. The best location for the short technically would be all the way up at sort of 350s. Right, so if they do a giant squeeze up to 350s, I think there's a potential short up there. Hi, Alex. Trump is awesome. I mean, he might be awesome, but he's a liar. You're welcome to think what you want, but the statements he's making right now are not factual. They are absolute lies. I don't care who anyone votes for. You know, it's none of my business. I'm talking about what is being said right here, right now in the market. Inflation is not at zero. and it is not Powell's fault. And that's it. That's the bottom line, because the market said so. You know, that's it. I think doing things like polls on X at the weekend on whether he should fire Powell or not is just grossly irresponsible. Wild thing to do. Rejecting New York there, folks. So far, rejection inside of New York. Let's make sure I got that open correct. Maybe I got it wrong. That candle there. Rejecting New York. Do we find bids here? If not, if we cannot find bids here, I think a new low is coming soon. If we find bids here, we're probably going to go all the way back up to the top range on the day. Still think there's a chance for more shorts in this market if they are willing or unwilling to find bids here. I think we can move lower. I really do. If VIX can get going here, it's trying to VIX is trying to build that 5-minute flag. If VIX can get going here, there is a chance for this market to get going to the downside. I'm talking about when I'm saying get going. Beautiful. Back in this now. Looking to add to it if we can get some conviction here. If pops start failing, say goodbye market. I'm looking to trade this all the way down today. If they create new lows on the day, I think we can trade all the way back down to some of these H1 liquidities. Looking for flow zones to hold now and trade back down into 18,000 if possible. So 80 to 100 points up for grabs here. That's what I'm looking for. Can we get down to sort of 18K? I don't want them to keep absorbing around this area. I just want the market to let go. Lovely. Lovely. There we go. Come on, market. Down we go, please, market. Down we go, please, market. Looking good here, folks. We just need a break of the lows here, something to snap these lows, and I think we get a bit of a waterfall moment. Need them to let go. That sort of trade down to 18,000 is there for the taking. Be careful. We do have a little bit of divergence there. ES did take the lows. Here goes VIX breaking out of those 3250s. We want 3290s to break now. I still think we're going to move lower here, folks. We look good for a move lower, but just be aware there's jostling for position here. We know it's a sensitive area. We've been here twice today. We've swiped up from it twice today already. Looking good here, folks. We're looking good here. Here we go. Come on, let it go. Let it go. VIX looking fantastic. Come on, VIX. Do it for us. Break out of 33s. Give us that waterfall moment. I want all the way down at 18,000. Sub 18,000, we can go even lower. Come on, VIX. Help this market get weak. Here we go. All right, locking in a little bit here for break of structure. I want 18,000 and then all the way down into here. Low of the IB. We haven't set an IB yet. We have not set an initial balance yet. I'm talking about this low here. So I've taken some out here. I'm looking for a trade sub 18,000 now. Looking at the H1, I would like to see us take out 18,022 and then 17,925. If we're going to fill the single prints, we're going to come all the way down to 17,600. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, if we stay heavy, there is a trade down to here. If we stay heavy under here, this will open up. So if we get under 18,000, retest 18,000, there is a bigger trade down to here available. I need a refill on this coffee. I'm not awake enough. Be right back, folks. Hey, that's what I want to see. There we go. There we go. Lovely. Lots of you should be making money in this short side. Hello, can we go? Here we go. Beautiful. All right, almost at that 18,000 psychological level. Remember, we talked about it. Those in Discord have said biggest order on the book this morning was sitting at 18K. He's still down there, 130 lot down there, folks. Looking good here, folks. This is every single thing we plan out pre-market. Oh, I love it when this happens. All right, how low can we go? Make sure you're paying yourself a little bit of money. All right, we went into this sell. Trumpy boy tried to save the market, yapping a load of bollocks, and we faded him. All right, so we're looking for a continuation down into these levels of liquidity. 18,000, 17,900, and all the way down in here, this would be single print fill. All right. If you're wondering what that is, just look at an hourly. We're basically filling an hourly imbalance if we get all the way down there, all right? But we got to be proactive in locking in some profits here today because we're at levels where bulls have come in to save the day once, twice, 3 times on hourly. So, you know, just respect the levels. Make sure you're paying yourself some money. Most of you should be up nicely already. This is a decent move for the morning. Here goes VIX, 3290s like we talked about. Break through this. It can go on an absolute ripper up to 35. It will increase sell pressure on the market, and we're going to get the moves we want if it can do that. So we want to see bids come flying in here on the VIX now. Try and break out those 32s or 33s, sorry, and get up to 34, 35s. Lovely, lovely, lovely. Have a quick look at the mag. Tesla, 6.20% down. Nvidia, 4.5% down. Meta, 3.17% down. Google, 2.5% down. Amazon, 3% down. Microsoft, 1.69% down. Apple, 2% down. Have you heard me talk about longs today? No. The only time I said I'd take a long is if we get acceptance above here. Otherwise, we're looking for shorts, folks. We're not guessing bottoms, are we? We are in a sell, very clearly in a sell. Coming into a key level here, folks. Make sure you are paying yourself some money. There's 170 lot on the book here at 18,000 now. Lovely, 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 lovely. High fives all around. Nice work, team. Nice work, team. Here we go. Make sure you're locking some in into this level. You might get some bids coming in, just starting to cover in front of that 18,000. But I think we're going to move lower. Generally speaking, I think we are going for those single prints. I think we are going to take out 17,922. I think that's the job today. And if we take him out, I think we're going down to 17,600. That's what my bias is for this session. Yes, Clint. I love it. All right, so here you can see some covers coming in. Some shorts are starting to take profits in front of 18,000. We did. Did we tap him there? Yeah, we did. We filled him. He was legit. He got filled down there. Yeah, W's in chat for everyone who's made some money on that with me. Let me know who made money. Clint, nice work, my friend. Dre the trader. Paul with a nice W. It worked out nice. Lee Kim, Jack Hubkins, John Dennis, 1,500. Louis with a W, Brad with a W, Andrew H, Mike, Michael Pope, Omar, Andrew G, John, Brian, Jeff, Jesse, Leron, Jake from State Farm, Noel, Peter. Hey, Jack, come on, team. Give it up for Jack. Jack, when Jack first started trading here, Jack used to try and fade me all the time. He'd be trying to buy bottoms when I'm saying let's lean short. He'd be trying to sell the tops when I'm like, we're going to break out. And he's changed his way. And look at the amount of times he wins now. I love it. Nice work, Jack. You should be very proud of yourself. That is A rotten habit and very hard to get rid of. I know, because I had the same habit back in the day. Congrats, Aid, Jeffrey, Kaladin, Christy, Radar, Indicator, first ever W on Traderify. Nice work, Brandon. Emmett, Nick, Ash, 26k on that win. Hey, Ash, big boy size right there. W, but I didn't realize I was on practice account. Hey, no big deal. Nice work, Andrew. Kim, nice work, everyone. Nice work. Okay, so we're still fading. Like I said, bottom of the H1. We're looking at the buyers whose swing position stops are right here. Oh, didn't mean to do that. What I wanted was an arrow. We're looking at these guys here. All right, so a trade down into 19,017, 19,020. We lose that, we're going to come all the way down there. How do I know? What is this? These are single prints. These need repairing. Bulls really should be holding this. What have we done overnight? Anyone who watched my video yesterday or Thursday, P shape, D shape, gapping down. What does that mean? Buyers are stuck. Where are we going? To where volume is. This is the aim. If they let go of this, they're coming to here. That's what they want to do, because this needs repairing. That's what they would like to do today, all right, from a structural point of view. So think about what I taught you over the weekend. Video on TPOs. There's the volume. Where are we opening? We're looking for drives up to fail to go lower. Looking good. Aid, past 2 Tradeify growth accounts on that drop. Lovely. Scott Sullivan with the W. Lovely. All right, just make sure you're not getting short down in the hole right now. All right, we are a long way from the short location. Short location was once we started failing up here, here. This is a buying location now. I'm going to get rid of this. Don't need this now. I'm not saying you buy here, but this is an area where we might start to find some covers. And we're far from what? We're far from flow zones. This was the last pullback. All right, so we'd like to see structure built out to go lower. You do not want to be adding short in higher time frame demand at low of day. This is not a good short location. You will need structure to be built out. We have a new hourly candle here, so if it wants to reprice up a bit, it can do so. I would say definitely that old hourly candle. 19,000. I want to get this nice and tight there. This is the aim. This is where it wants to go right now. It wants to cause pain for those swing players. Follow the sales on the indicator, on the Ninja Trader indicator today. Easy money, great indicator. Thanks, Coop. Yeah, it's become a beast, man. It's an absolute beast. The only thing I can't get firing well right now is the algo. I cannot get it. Can't get it quite right. I can trade the indicator really well. I'm trying to get it automated, but it would just take a bit of time. Got to keep back testing it and work out the best levels for it. And maybe I might need to introduce some AI to it somehow. But looking fantastic. The indicator doing the job here this morning on the indicator. Very, very nice. All right, as we drift lower. All right, so where is the next target for the SPY and the QQQ for those of you on ETFs? QQQ 43260s, SPY, let's have a look. I'd say all the way down into 413s and beyond that 413s, 513s and 509s on the spiders. Dude, great short analysis, hands down. Thank you, Gus. Appreciate it. It made it a bit easy for us this morning. Like I said, let it shake out. We had to let it shake out. The momentum was downside, and we got stuck at Globex. All right, we did a little sweep there. Stuck at Globex. There's the dirt. Boom. See you later. Thanks very much. Low-hanging fruit gone. Nice way to start the week, isn't it? Nice way to start the week. We'd like some structure built out now. If we're going to think about going lower, we need something built out. Maybe a 2-leg and then a fail would be nice. It can come all the way up here if it wants. If it really wants, it can come up here. No bids in this market, man. This market's off to the races. VIX now 33.30s. Looking for VIX to trade all the way up to 34, maybe even 34.85s. Break out of that. They're going to keep going. But we need some structure here. If we're going to think about a new position, or if you're already in this and you're looking to add to your winners, you're going to need some structure to build out here. Remember this hourly candle, it can go and reprice if it wants. It can think about this hourly candle, right? Think about what this hourly candle looks like. Oh, it's a dodgy looking candle. It looks like this. So this hourly candle might want to reprice a little bit before going lower. So we would like something like this. Ideally. But, you know, if there's no bid in the market, if no one's at home, it can't go up. Fresh lows. I'm telling you, it's coming for that H1. For the lower end of this blue box, it's coming for that H1. We take that out and we stay heavy. I don't find a reason for it to find a bid in front of 600. There's another 300 points up for grabs here. Unless they trap and do a little move upside, but if we stay heavy under 900, there is quite possibly a move all the way down to 600. So if you're new to the stream, I'm here every single day, Monday to Friday from pre-market all the way into lunch. This week's going to be a little bit tricky, folks. All right, my wife is away all week, which means I'm on dog duty. So I will do my best to stay on stream with you, but it might be that I have to leave stream slightly early some days because she can get very impatient when she doesn't get her walk. And I don't want to fight with a pit bull. So I should be here, though, until lunch. While this market builds the liquidity out, let's talk about what happened at the weekend. TraderFi extended their sale. All right, they've extended their sale until the end of the month. 30% off all accounts, advanced, growth, and straight to funded accounts. And also 40% off for first-time buyers. So they extended their sale. Apex still have their 80% sale on, $50 resets. And the 150K, 250K, and 300K accounts are $59.40. Use code FZT for TraderFi and Apex and take profit. Still 30% off for life, no activation fee. I'm not sure when that's going to end. They still haven't said, but code FlowZone there will get you the best price. You can click the links in the description if you're interested in any of those. For your interest, the fee for the funded TraderFi is per year, not a one-time fee. Really? I don't think that's the case. For straight to funded, I'll check that. I don't think that's the case though, but I'll double check it. Maybe you're right, but that's news to me. I'll check that out though. Weird, really. Thanks for letting me know. I'll message Brett on that. Some of you would have seen that I soft launched the FlowZone indicator for NinjaTrader. It is now available on the website with a course on how to install it and how to use it. You have two options there. You have a subscription option, a yearly subscription, or a one-time lifetime fee. Obviously, discount for the lifetime fee. The F1 race, yeah, I'll talk about that shortly. So any of you interested in doing the course or for the NinjaTrader 8 FlowZone indicator, there is a link now on the website if you want to grab that. Please bear with me. I have to manually approve it and then have NinjaTrader improve your authorization number. No, TradingView one isn't ready yet. The only this one for TradingView comes with the course, but the more advanced one hasn't been built yet. Starting to see some bids come in here into the market. We have left that H1 liquidity, I believe. Yeah, we still left him down at 18. So swings are still in the money for now. Starting to find some bids here as we drive upside. Like we said, we're going to look for liquidity to build out and then maybe look for a new short. You've got to be careful here. If they want to reprice all the way up to that opening range, they can do so. The F1 race. It was interesting, wasn't it? I mean, decent recovery from Lando. Although I think he's not really at the races right now. Mentally, he looks not at it. Piastri, though, looks ruthless this year. Absolutely ruthless. My money is on him to outperform Lando right now for the rest of the season. Max doing a great job with what remains a bit of a crappy car. And you got to wonder if he didn't get that 5-second penalty at the start, what might have happened. But he's just so aggressive, isn't he? He will never give a place back. If other people had done that to him, what he did to Piastri, or like, you know, going off like that, he'd be going mental in the front of that Red Bull. Ferrari really can't get themselves together on a Saturday. They need to sort that out. Mercedes lost pace. Thought George drove pretty well, but obviously the tyre degradation there was pretty terrible for Mercedes. Nice to see Williams get some points together. Not much else to say. It was an all right race. I wasn't blown away. Lack of action at the front. It was all about that first corner, wasn't it? What did you think, Big Pun? Did you enjoy it? Ferrari really need to get to grips on a Saturday, though. Give themselves a chance. Give themselves a chance with some better qualies. Lawson got beat by his teammate in the RB again. Not a good look. VIX finding some sellers in front of 33.50. I think VIX will probably want to build out some liquidity as well for that drive higher. We would like to see the NQ and the ES price a little bit higher here for a little bit. Build out that liquidity, go a little bit higher, and then maybe we can look for a new short for that pro trend. Remember, this is very, very steep. The last pullback was all the way up here. So even if we were going to think about this in terms of intraday pivots and we left liquidity up here, all right, this can go a long, long way. All right, it can come right into here. Might need a 2-leg, 1, 2, and then start to see some failures to come and take these guys out. Just be careful because we're already down over 2.25% on the day. We're down over 400 points on the day, folks. All right, so we've done a big move because half of that move was done overnight. Half of that move was just done now. 225-point range in this initial balance. You've got 15 or 17 minutes left for the IB. Do sellers look very, very aggressive here? We're not getting much of a reprice higher. We'd like this to reprice higher. Come on, get up higher. I'm not looking for a short down here. It's too risky for me. Looking for a re-entry if we can get up higher and then offer some selling. Especially if VIX can base where it broke out of. If VIX finds a base, 33s down to 32.65s, I'm interested. Get up towards 18,000 and above here, please. Get up there. Have to be careful because we know this level here on the H1, last time we came here, we had a big reaction. Think about last time we were down here. Big reaction. There is a lot of liquidity to be swept up here. Remember, this is still a range in here. But if we break underneath this, we can leg down into this level. Sentiment is heavy. You just got to be very careful. Shorts get trapped. It's where we can do very quick squeezes higher. Did you say if a person takes the course, the indicator for Ninja Trader is free? No, the indicator for Ninja Trader is not free. It is a discount for students. This indicator that you're looking at here on TradingView is for free for people that do the course, though. The second place qualifier has the advantage over the pole sitter to that first turn. Yeah, you're right. And it's interesting, isn't it, how they've moved the DRS in that track as well. So that, you know, you saw Lando get it wrong on Lewis, and then Lewis just take him back, like, round the next corner. Lots of selling trying to come in here versus the flow zones. This is a battleground now. This is a battleground. Again, I would like this higher ideally before looking for the short, but so far, unwilling to do it. So having a quick look at the book here, scrolling up and down to see what I can see. Book's got pretty thin, I'm going to be honest. There's not much here. Sell side pressure remains in this market. Like another trade to the short side, but I'd really like this to move higher first. Just a personal thing. I want this to move higher first. I want this to squeeze out first, but it's just at the moment, it's just looking like it's just going to break lows, break lows, break lows. Yeah, and again, trying to break lows here. Oh, it's washing. I'm going to get a little piece in here. Beautiful. So, all right, have we taken him out? Very, very close. 17s or 18s is that H1 guy. We stay heavy underneath that, guys. We're going to go all the way down to 600s in my mind. So this here is a trap level. They either do this move here or we're coming down to here, all right? Because this is single print. We did this move here in a matter of seconds, right? So we're very thin in here. Think back to that day where Trump did the tariff pause. The swipe up was done in seconds. If you're wondering what I'm on about, I'm going to have to move a long time. Hang on, let's just go to an hourly. This move here, this drive happened in seconds. I know it's an hourly candle, but this happened very, very quick. Oh, it will not let me draw today. This move here. So underneath here, we have a fill down to here potential. All right, so it's either a trap at this level to move back up, or they wash very, very hard. So we took him out there. 908 is the low. Yeah, so we've washed that H1. This is the key now. Do we stay heavy for that move down to 600s? Do we stay heavy for the move down to 600s or not? Looking good. I did add into that short down there. I've covered most of it now. I'm looking to see if I can get a new ad. I had to chase, unfortunately. Chase size on a chase position, but I'm not willing for this to move all the way without me. Lovely. Right, watching 900s now. Still not much on the book here, folks. If we're going to start letting go, I still think 600s is doable today on those single prints. You just got to be careful of a trap. But we look good. We're staying short side with the thesis. We're looking for that wash down to 600s. If they're not going to show up as a buyer, we're going to keep selling it. We are into single prints now, all the way down to 600. This is something we went over pre-market. This was not just said now. We went over this pre-market. If you're joining late here, and even in Discord, right, we talked about it in Discord this morning. This move here, down to fill the single prints. We lose 17,900, clean up the single prints down to 17,600. All right, so these are the key levels here. One of the advantages of doing the course, you get Discord for free. Lyndall, I think I know what I did wrong. I entered at the bottom of the 937 candle and then again at 947 candle. If I would have entered when price went to flow zones, I wouldn't have stopped out. 937. 947 was it? Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, you want to be a pullback trader in these markets, well, in all markets. All right, so if you're going to enter for washers, let it build out. If you're not a pullback trader entering here, let it show you the momentum. Join after the pullback. All right, if you're not playing the pullback, join after the pullback for the momentum. Join after the pullback for the momentum. Right, this is key here. if they reprice this and get above this, there is a squeeze here. Right? We want this to stay heavy, but like we said, it can be a trap level because it's a big H1 level. If they get up here, we can go on a little squeeze up for relief. I still think I still think the pro trend is down. Right, this is the first time we're breaking this range for a number of sessions, and let's get this on a daily. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 7th day in this range. If we break these lows, it's possible we go back to low of year. It's possible. Market's remaining heavy here. Look at the VIX, still going. 3350s hitting, like we said, flag after flag after flag building on the VIX. VIX wants to get up to 3412 and then 3480s. This market is heavy. You should not be bidding in this market right now. There is no reason to be buying a market doing this, is there? There's zero reason. This is not a long. Look up here. It is a short. There's your sell signal. It is a short. We're breaking out of range on daily candles as well. We're breaking out of range on hourly and daily candles. These are sells. I like that, Jack. I like that. I like that sense of humor and truth. Like I said, I think they'll sell what he says. Right? You got to think about these investment banks. Like, they care when he's like, "Hey, I'm pausing tariffs," but when he's like, "Hey, there's no inflation," I mean, that's just a lie. It's an absolute lie. In fact, we ignored the last good inflation prints because we know the next prints coming are going to be terrible because of tariffs. And anyone that was trading with me in September, do you remember that guy who told me I was an idiot when I said, "Hey, when we have the crash, either end of 2024, beginning of 2025, the Dixie's going to go under 100, and I think gold will go to 3,500. I want to find the stream where I said it. And the guy was trying to bash me in stream. Well, where are you now? Because the Dixie's at 98, and gold is breaking all-time high after all-time high after all-time high, and it's gunning for 3,500. Yeah, you remember Marek? I can't remember the guy's name in stream. I've never seen him since. But we're there, aren't we? You know, I think that's the difference between hopium and understanding what's probable to come. It's not that I wanted to see the market do all these things. It's not nice to see, but you've just got to understand, like I say all the time, we're disciples to the market. You have to do what the market is telling you to do. Doesn't matter. Like, hope is not a strategy. Hoping that gold stays low and that the market goes for a pump is just not probable. New lows coming in this market. ES remains weak. Sub 5,200 now on the ES. The damage has been done on the Qs as well. I think SPY still has. Next stop for SPY, like we talked about. 514.50s down to 513. That's what I'd be looking for on the SPY. If it finds a bid there. If it doesn't, then I think we come down to 509s on the SPY. Big moves here this morning. 466 points down. We've had the initial balance coming here, folks, in about 6 minutes. I'm flat in my positions now, just waiting. Taking just some nice base hits to start my week here. Base hit mentality. Remember, folks, $100 a day. You do it on multiple accounts, it will add up. Do not get, obsessed with what everyone else is making all the time, what influencers are posting. Think about what is good money for you. What do you need to make to replace your day job? If you're looking to do this full time, I don't know what average wage in the States is. It's probably about $21,000 or something. It's probably much less than you think. Whatever your wage is, how do you get there? If you're earning $100,000 a year, how do you get there? All right, I'm going to look at my stream results right now. What is going on? You know what I'm going to moan about? You instantly know what I'm going to moan about on this stream. Come on, folks. It's so easy. I've given you an absolute gift of a short. All you got to do, hit that like button. Thanks, Louis. Smash that like button for me. I get up at 5:30 in the morning to help you folks. All for free on here. I tell you where I'm looking to trade and why. Then we take it together. A ton of you make money. And then no one hits that like button. Let's get it up to 100 likes, folks. 145 of you here now. All right, so we need liquidity to be built out here to go lower. It's going to keep building. Bear flag after bear flag after bear flag. We're coming into that initial balance. So far, there is no reason to look long, is there? Where does it want to go? Like I said, if it lets go of this level here, honestly, there is no structure in here. Zero, no structure. It can do this move here today if it wants. It can also reprice like a little bit of it and then try and trap for a drift upside. It's possible, but I'm not interested really in the longs today. I want to stay focused on the shorts. The only time I was going to be interested in the long today was if I felt we did this move here, up to here and up to here, and then I'd think about that short back down. But right now, sentiment is heavy. Again, we talked about it in Discord pre-market. It doesn't matter what the media say. It doesn't matter what people say. The truth is in the tape, and the tape is not looking pretty right now. It's not looking good into earnings season for these mags. I cannot imagine the earnings calls. What are you going to say on the earning calls for projections? How are you supposed to do your projections when you don't know if you've got a 245% tariff, a 105% tariff, a 10% tariff, no tariff, 1,000% tariff? Who knows what's going to be said? So how are you supposed to do your yearly projections right now to give, you know, your investors a reason to keep holding and investing in you? It's going to be tough, man. I'm not too interested in the results that these lot post. I'm more interested in what's said afterwards. I don't think there'd be a lot of damage for Google, although people are saying, you know, you don't Google as much now, you use ChatGPT for stuff, but I think they'll be fine. Amazon, obviously, a little bit exposed to it. Tech companies definitely exposed to it in terms of semiconductors. We're just going to have to, we're going to have to see. We're going to have to see what's said, but it's going to be tough. Tesla, the first one, Tuesday afternoon, and that thing's getting wrecked today. Still holding a runner on this. Lovely, Peter. Great work. Great work. Yeah, my best cover on this. I can't even get them up because I'm using a new chart now. I ended up downloading... oh, I can't think what it's called. Affordable Indicators. What's it called? Like the entry thing. Someone help me out here. Why can't my brain work? For NinjaTrader, so that basically I can chart on NQ and then switch between micros and minis without changing charts. Essential Chart Trader. Thank you, Jake up one. Yeah, Essential Chart Trader. I just got the basic one. I'm only interested in it for that mini to micro. The one thing I didn't realize though is it won't now let me use my hotkeys, which is annoying. But the buy to click and sell to click is useful. Yeah, so there are some negatives with it, which I found out, which is just the hotkey issue. Yeah, so basically it's got a button, so you can leave your screen on NQ, for example, and there's a little button at the top right, and you can just click on it, and it would change from mini to micro, but it would leave your chart on the NQ, which is really good for me because there's nothing more painful than me having to do my charting for you guys on TradingView, then replicate it in NQ, and then do it again in M&Q. It's an absolute nightmare. So that's the nice thing for it. Oh, does it? Ah, I thought that was last week, Miguel. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, buddy. So we're finding some bids here. Here's the initial balance now set. That purple line, you can see this is the IB low. So IB rules apply. So failed auction, auction, failed auction as well. Where do we trade from an IB? If we fail an auction and we start to bid probably above these and above these, we trade to VWAP, don't we? If we get acceptance over VWAP, we probably go next VWAP and IB high. Otherwise, we're looking for how can we build out liquidity. It might take all day now. Something like that. Let me clean this up for you. If we can build a failed auction here and encourage bulls to come in, and we can build something up here, that would be lovely for later in the day. Maybe they save it for tomorrow. We've had a big move today already. But we are outside of range now. I want to point that out. We're right at the bottom of the range. If you're like, what is he on about? Let's go to the daily. See the blue box? What was our range from the last 7 days or so? That was our range. And most of it was in here. Okay, so here, 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 here. If we fail this, this is our level to 600. If we fail that, we're going to clean these guys up. And probably if we get down there, I'd be very, very cautious. So remain short today. Remaining short today will be the easiest move for you. Respect the initial balance. That would be nice. Failed auction will be duck underneath, trade back inside, trade to here. I'm not playing longs today. It can fail an auction all at once. I've locked in my daily goal for the day. I'm happy with this. I can take in... That's unfortunate. A few of these have dropped below where I need them, but I can take payouts now in a lot of these. I might trade them for a few more days and then try and take a bigger payout. Tilt, yeah, possibly. I'm not sure. I'm convinced I agree with you. I totally understand what you're saying, Tilt, but I think there's a lot of noise about it. But I think eventually people will just, you know, if a car's good, they'll keep buying it. It's ironic, isn't it? It's the same people who were protesting against like petrol and diesel cars like 6 months and a year ago, and now protesting against Tesla. It's like, well, what should people drive? But yeah, I understand what you're saying. There's definitely a lot of brand damage done, but I think people will get over it. Yeah, I really do. The problem is, will be if they lose market share. How much market share do they lose? Yeah, exactly. I agree with you. That's exactly what's happening, Andrew. It's the same people. Does make me laugh. You know, people said the same with like Facebook when they lost patience with Zuck a few years ago, and it's still the most popular app, Meta. I was eyeing up cars at the weekend, but only in Europe. I keep looking at price of cars in Europe, because I'm like, I don't want to buy a nice car in California. No offense, but the drivers here are shite, and and the value of them is ridiculous. I said to my wife, if we move back in the next few years, I'm treating myself either a 911 or a DB11, one or the other. Right here, I drive a VW Tiguan. And even that, like, you know, I get annoyed. The drivers here are terrible. I don't know if it's just a California thing. I imagine it's just a California thing, because they're all stoned all the time, and they don't use indicators, and they don't use their mirrors. And they're on their phones in one hand and with a gummy or a fucking zoot, pardon my French, in the other. You wonder why there's so many accidents. All right, so we're basing around here. You can see we've gone into range. It started to tighten up on the 1 minute, starting to tighten up on the 5 minute. If we want to go and back test, it can go higher here. Do not get caught shorting the hole. We talk about it all the time. The low-hanging fruit, remember, got taken. Where was the low-hanging fruit? Here. That was the last level of liquidity. Leg down will be here, but low-hanging fruit got taken. Let it build out now. Ideally, for me, it does something like this. I think that will offer, if we can trap lots of balls in for a number of hours, all right, and then start failing. If this becomes a big level of volume and then they start breaking underneath it later, these guys will become the volume and stops that get us down to there, in my mind. They might save it for tomorrow or later in the week, but that's what I'm sort of thinking about right now. Miguel, it's the same here. And like what I was really surprised at, give me a second, folks. This is parents calling. Hopefully nothing bad. Sorry about that, folks. It's my mum calling to tell me she's been subject to fraud and there's £6,000 missing from her bank account. So I'll call her back after stream and get into that with her. All right, so a bit of relief here in the market. Where's it looking to go? One set of stops here. If we go from IB, where do we like to trade to? It likes to try and trade to the VWAP. That's where it likes to try and trade to. So if it can take these out, it can trigger a squeeze here. Otherwise, if they protect this, we go back to IB. This is your range right now for now, which is basically 75. You're basically in like an 80, 90 point range here, folks. Morning, Julian. Yeah, I think it'd be fine, John. Hopefully it's on credit and not debit, but we'll see. We'll see. I think she banks with Barclays. I've never banked with them, but hopefully it's all okay. It's one of the reasons I like using Amex more than anything else. I try not to carry debit cards for that reason, because I think Amex are so good. They know straight away if fraud's happened, and if it does happen, it's not your money, and you just tell them and they deal with it. It's always okay if fraud happens on a credit card. It's a problem when you start to get fraud happening on your debit card. That's when it's a problem. So ES coming in back, testing that level we broke down from, 207s. Lots of stops on ES at 214s. They pop 214s as a chance for it to like do a bigger retracement higher. Very, very similar to what I've drawn out here for you on NQ. Same kind of levels. Let's have a quick reflection on the mag. ES being sold there, VIX being sold there at 33.60s, back down to 33s now, where we built that flag for it to go out from. Having a look at the Mag 7, Tesla 6.41% down, Nvidia 5.20% down, Meta 3.25% down, Google 2.11% down, Amazon 3.5% down, Microsoft 1.84% down, Apple 2.48% down. I'm going to say it again. Relative strength Microsoft. That is the one to keep an eye on. If this market turns bullish at any point in the next few years, I think that one has major, major strength in it. Yeah, Leron, wise person that. Pay it all on credit card, pay it off end of the month. Helps your credit rating. And also, like if you give your credit card over at a bar and you get fraud done, you're protected. When you do it in debit, you have to fight, I think, to get that money back. It's much, much harder. Here we go. So they're trying to trigger this squeeze through these levels we just drew out. If they can get it, they're going to go all the way up to VWAP, 18,021. Again, the book is thin here, folks. I'm not in this short. I'm definitely not looking for the counter trend long. Just letting this do what it wants. Made my money on the day. Low-hanging fruit got taken. We took the trade down to low-hanging fruit. What do I always say? Once the low-hanging fruit gets taken, you can see I'm not interested in price like I was earlier. We've done the damage. That easy trade came early in the day. My best case scenario for me now really is something like this to build out and some sort of fails here and under here and under here and build lots of volume in here that we use to get down to here. All right, that would be best case scenario. There's a part of me that's saying, please don't do it today. Leave it for tomorrow, because I'm quite happy to come back tomorrow and take another trade then. Great work, Peter. Fair enough, Tilt. Fair, like that's a fair comment from you. All I'm saying is that I don't think any brand is, beyond repair. And I think you'll find, like, even though people are like, oh, brand damage, like no one's going to buy it. People are still buying Teslas, mate. They're still going to be worth billions and almost trillions of dollars as a company. They're still highly profitable. And the money is in their AI, which they license to other companies. People think, well, if they stop buying Tesla cars, there's no money there. Bollocks. They own all the AI in that tech space. So, it doesn't even matter if no cars ever got built. They will simply license all the AI, all the intelligence, all the data they've collected by being the best and the first on the road in the EV space to everyone else. So long term, we've got to remove our emotions when we look at companies. Long term, the company will be fine. Even if he steps away or whatever, long term, company will be fine because it's based on a good product, a diverse and good product. Where people get stuck is where they go, I hate this company, I'm shorting it. All right, good luck with that. I tried that on some Chinese companies I hated, and I'll tell you what happened. I lost a ton of money. They were scams and bad companies, and I still got ruined. So never being emotional when we're looking at investments or trades. We have to do what's in front of us. Market finding decent bid here off that initial balance low. You can see. Did not want to break down. Now we've swept. Do we find selling up into some of these areas? This is the question now. Do we find selling up into here? If they get through here, back test can be up here and up here. But you would think something like this will start to play out. Where's the pivot now? Here. Bulls will need to hold this for a next leg. I'm not looking for longs today. I'm not interested in the longs. The more this can squeeze out, the better for me because it offers a better short opportunity. With what was I drawing? Where would I enter short? Depends how high it gets, but like if it does this, I'm not against a short here. If we build something like this out, then under here for an add. And then if we break down here and retest here as well. Things like that. Catch it tomorrow, Peter. Yeah, I think best trade on the day is gone, unless we're going to go down for those 600s. Which will be a pretty big fail. Probably mean the market will end up being like 4% down on the day. But we're trying to hold flow zones like we said. Structure's changed lower time frame. We were in a sell. If they hold this and create a new high, all right, they're going to go bullish. But it's there that I think sellers will try and come back in. They're not even letting it up there so far. So far, they've just swept that liquidity. Not in a rush now. Just going to let this build out. Getting money made for the day. Do not need to force myself on the market. Nice and slow. If something sets up, I'll take it. If it doesn't, that's also okay. You should also give a course on drawing. Do you know what? I'm horrible at drawing. Absolutely horrible. So coming down to where we found bids, ES relative weakness. ES is going to go back down towards low of day here by the looks of it. Market's very, very heavy. VIX trying to find a bid off that flag like we talked about. Sensitive areas here as it builds out. My dog's crying. Give me a second. Make sure she's all right. All right, so here is the RBS that's trying to hold for lower time frame bulls, right? We go down, clear resistance, drift up. They take out shorts. Any one short here, their stop got popped. We trade back to RBS. If they can hold this, they need a breaker structure for that trade into VWAP. Okay, if they start to do that, that's where I'm going to get happier, because if we can do something like this, encourage bulls to start repricing and then see fails, I'm going to focus on those sells later on in the day. All right, if we start failing under here, again, there's possible move lower as well. That's also an auction move. So far, this RBS level is key. If they build this out and let go of it, ES is already at low or very close to low of day. If ES starts letting go and VIX can start to drive higher here, then the Qs will follow. If that is the pop and that's all it's got in it, that's a very, very heavy move for this market. It's very tempting to join back in here and try not to do it. Try not to let myself do it yet. ES back towards, or pretty much at its IB low now. Pops start to fail here, and if we fail that initial balance low, I'm telling you, 600 is not out the question here, folks. It really is not out the question. Trying to have a look where sellers are on the tape. A little bit buying trying to come in here, not much. Sellers on the tape up at 18,000. ES looks very weak. Unless it can find a double bottom here and bid off the initial balance, I think we might get an auction. VIX is looking very good. Building that 5-minute flag here off the flow zones for a break through the IB high. Through that, we go 34, 34.50, 35. Like we said, RBS key, starting to let go of it. Initial balance also key. If you can hear that, I'm sorry, someone's alarm going off. ES trying to find a bid off the IB, off low of day. Say 5,200 key as an over under here, just on this pop back up on the ES. Let's see if they sell it or not. Tape pretty thin. I still think everything's going to be sold today. I think every pop here, all this liquidity, that last drive up was just to wash some lower time frame shorts out. Instinctually, I think we are going lower. We've got a big drift lower. If it wants to let go, like I said, it can go very, very low today. It can go into 600s. Here it goes, starting to let go. ES, new low of day here. If ES starts breaking down, we're going to go with it. Here it goes. VIX trying to get up. I want to see VIX break out to the upside. Don't want this to be a failed breakout on the ES. Joining this for a move down. Lovely. Looking for a new lower day break here. I want to see the initial balance let go on the Qs. I want us to join in with the fun on the ES. VIX looking very, very good for a flag break. New high of day coming on the VIX. Come on, market. Let's join here. Let's not be silly. Let's join here. Stop's already in the money. ES looking very, very weak. We let go of 900, it's game over. We go for an auction lower, it is game over for these lot. Game over. Here we go. Come to Papa. Come to the Papa. Looking for sub 900, breakdown. If it really wants to go down to 600, I will be there for it. If we're going to do that failed, if we're going to do an auction lower, I'm here for it. I am here for it if we're going to do it today. Failing to hold RBS. Here's your sort of quasi. Here's your breakdown. We want a snap of this. We want confirmation of an auction lower, and we want to get down into here if possible. If they hold this, obviously I'm not short at these levels, I'm short up here. If they hold this, not interested. I don't want ES to reclaim its initial balance. Remember, ES right now is down here, and it's trading back up towards initial balance. Not there yet. I want ES to do this move here where it rejects it to go lower. And I want VIX to break out. VIX starting to break out. Lovely is what I want to see. Come on, VIX. Up you go. ES breaking down new lows. This is what we want to see, folks. This let's go. I'm telling you, we are in with a shot of 600 here if they're going to let go of this heavy. No one on the tape. There is no one on the tape today. Not a bid in sight. I'll give you the size. There's 17 at 900. You know, not 170, not 500, not 1,000. A 17 lot. No one's interested in buying this market today. How low can we go is the question here today. Can we get down to the 600s? If we let go of 900s, can we get down to the 600s? That's the question. If they protect this, there's a pop-up for sure. I really expect us to try and break down. You've got to be careful if there's divergence here. Again, ES has already broken low of day. ES is trading underneath the initial balance lows. We have relative weakness in the ES, which is unusual given that it's tech driving this move. Here we go, folks. Can we get sub 900? Sub 900 looking for a new low of day break. Don't want them to protect this. Looking for a waterfall moment here. Down to 600s if possible. I know it sounds wild, but it is possible based on the rebalancing. I will watch that old point of controls at like 850s and 700s, but really I'd like to trade into 600s if possible. Again, watching ES very closely here. This market is a bit lacking today. I just watched Trade by Matt take a $200 loss before giving up. It feels very good to have a good course mentor to watch. Oh, thank you, Exister. Means a lot. So defending IB low on the Qs. Again, like we said, ES, you got to watch it. If it drives back up towards that IB low, you need sellers to come in there. If they don't come in there, then we're not going lower for the day. We need auction lower, and ES will be the key. Because it has relative weakness, it's positioning. If it wants to backtest IBL, you will need ES to be in a sell when it gets there. If they reclaim it, shorts are off the table and a bigger squeeze is possible today. You want to be careful because if they do that, we have tapering. All right. Remember, we need ES to reject this here. And right now, right here is the point of when it's making that decision. It's testing IBL right here. If we get acceptance above it, it's going to be a problem for any short continuation. So far, finding sellers up there. Nice rejection of the IBL so far on the ES is what we want to see. Now we need a break of structure and a new low of day on the ES. That will confirm everything. It's trying. It's trying. It's a good rejection. It's trying for low of day. Here it comes. This is what we want to see. We want to see a breakdown here on the ES. That will confirm everything for us. It's a battle here. If shorts take control here, we're going lower. If they get stuck here, it's going to be a problem. So far, looking good. Battlegrounds, for sure, battlegrounds. It's just whether they want to save it for another day. Those single prints on the TPOs, do they want to save them for another day or later today even? Trying to find a bid here. Still nothing through the initial balance low on the ES. VIX, again, relative strength. We've talked about it. Relative strength in terms of positioning versus the IBL. You got to think here, if they sell the VIX here, if they sell the Qs here and we break down under here, then we have all these buyers, trap volume, and that's where the break will be. And it we'll get sentiment from that from the ES. It's just building out here on 2 and 5 minute candles. VIX still holding above its initial balance high. It's got a drive up to 34s, 34, 50, 35 if it wants. What's the time? 4 minutes until a new hour. Not even, almost 3 minutes to a new hour. Buyer still says lower to me until ES reclaims initial balance low. I think we're going lower. I'll change that thesis if we start reclaiming. If we have failed auctions, I'll change that thesis. Again, I'm not looking for longs today. Not interested in playing counter trend longs. Even on the rotational trade, I would rather just not take it and lock in my money for the day. I still think we're going low. Here we go, ES. Rejecting. Here we go. Nice rejection on the initial balance low. New low of day. Now, can we get a sustained auction lower now? We want to see everything joining in. VIX joining in, which is looking great. Can the Qs join in here? What is holding up the Qs? Trying to have a little look around. Qs look weak to me. Tesla 6.78% down. Nvidia 5.25% down. Meta 3.20% down. Google 2.37% down. Amazon 3.13% down. New lower day here on the ES. Microsoft 2.14% down. Apple 2.82% down. It's just, can the Qs break down with it? Perfect move on the ES. If you're trading ES, this is a nice trader for you today. Very, very clean off that initial balance low retest. Very, very clean. If any of you took that short, that was very, very nice. Here we go. They're selling into this now. You can see it on the tape. They're starting to sell into this now. It's going to be key here. If the Qs start to break down, we're going to get going. Small bids here around the 900s. In front of 900s. They're trying to hold up 900s here on the Qs. See them coming on the tape. Trying to absorb it. A divergence there because ES made a new low and is rejecting initial balance low. Qs did not make a new low and are not underneath the IBL. So you've got relative strength in the Qs right now. The best short in the market right now is the ES. At the beginning of the day, you wouldn't have said that, but right now, that is the case. The best short in this market at the moment is in the ES. It's behaving itself. Bought 916 to 993. 916. You bought. So you're looking for an IB rotation, risking low of day. I mean, I don't mind the trade. It's not a trade I'm looking for, but it makes sense. I would just be very, very careful because momentum is downside right now. And like we talked about in those TPOs, if it wants to let go here, there is a straight move down to 600. All depends if they're going to protect it or not, really. But it makes sense. Like the setup makes sense, Gus, because you're trading the initial balance rotation. Momentum's not on your side, but the setup makes sense. Yeah. NQ looks good that it didn't break the low. It does. like I said, relative weakness in the ES. ES broke the low, broke down. New low of day is underneath the IBL. Very, very different charts right now in terms of positionings. You have tapering here. ES offered a great trade, like over a 3-4 minute period from 5,196. You could have taken that IBL short, traded down, gave you about 10 points, 9 points on the ES for that short. And then if it reclaims, like I said, if it reclaims IBL, all shorts are off the table on the ES. Same with Qs at that point. If ES reclaims IBL, I wouldn't be looking for any more shorts on the Qs. You're just getting like some of tech starting to bottom out, but ES again rejecting in front of the IBL here. I still think we have this move lower. Why I'm not looking for the longs today, it's still possible. What matters is how many shorts get trapped down here. If they don't get this break, these shorts get trapped. But if you're a buyer here and they build this volume and they break down here, there is not much until here. All right, so this move is possible, which is what I think they are trying to do. Here goes ES again, fresh low of day. If they start to sell this, we are going risk off and this market can really dump. It's a big, big, big battleground, this. Big battleground, this. I think we're going lower. Gut says we're going lower here on the day. VIX, new high of day. I want to see IBL break. I want to see this get hammered back down. I really want to trade into 600s here. Maybe asking too much, but just based on the TPOs, I think it's possible. Definitely into old point of control and 841 from the 4th. Looking good here, folks. We're looking good here. Like I said, I'm staying short side on this. I'm not looking to be a buyer in this market. Nice breakdown on the ES. Can the Qs follow? Can we get a low of day on the Qs for a new leg down? Is this just the building of liquidity for a new leg down? This area here will be key. Again, ES, a weaker one. If you're short ES, it's behaving very nicely for you right now. Beautiful. Beautiful on the ES. Beautiful on the VIX. Come on, Qs. Let's join the party, Qs. Let's join the party. It's coming. It's coming here, folks. It's coming here. Break of 900 will do it. Break of 900 will do it. Here we go, folks. A little bit of short covering in front of that. A little bit of bids. I think there's a bit of wiggle, and I think we're going to get the job done here. Come on. Looking for sub 900, and then I'm going to look for a break and retest, potentially for some ads. Just want a bit of a waterfall moment here. If they keep protecting it, obviously going to be very, very careful if they keep protecting it. I really think this is like a little trap here. That's what I want to see happen. Again, I will not think long in this market. ES would have to reclaim the initial balance low for me to consider a long in this market, and I really don't even then want to consider it. Nice, Gus. Good risk management there, my friend. Back to flow zones. The only thing with this 600 move is, in my head, I'm like, do they save it for later in the week? Do they build out a ton more of liquidity? We've had that break. Do they save it? Because you have to remember, we're 2.5% down on the day. We're 450 odd points down on the day. It's a decent move lower. It is a decent move lower. I'm just going to stick with it, playing with house money. I'm up nice on the day. I'm sticking with it all the time it's letting me. But again, I will not look for shorts if ES starts to recover the IBL. It's just building out, Jack. Yeah, it's going to take some. It's going to take some time. It's going to take some time. I think it's coming. I really think it's coming, but it's going to take some time. Remember, the more bulls that are trapped in, the better. That's how the market will operate. The more bulls that are trapped in, the better for them right now. Because if you have, let's think about it. Dip buyer, dip buyer, dip buyer, breakout buyer, dip buyer, dip buyer, dip buyer. All their stops are at low of day. We hit that. All right. So the more that are trapped in, the better. If they absorb it, this is your box. That's your rotation from here. This can also be a little trap here for later in the day. If they get above this, then the squeeze is on. Yeah, my bias is lower. My bias remains lower until proven otherwise. I will like if we flip flow zones and we start reclaiming levels, my bias will change. But right now, flow zones staying downside, aren't they? Higher time frames in a sell, lower time frames in a sell. I'm not looking to pick bottoms. Yes, you could argue there's a rotational initial balance to VWAP trade here, but just given what the ES is doing, I don't really like it. I think we're going lower. I think this is just building liquidity to go lower. I'm just going to use the bathroom, folks. I'll be right back. All right, nothing's changed. Take care, Exister. Nothing's changed here for me, folks. You'll be careful. The only thing you'll be careful of, like squeezes like this one here, same kind of thing. If too many shorts get trapped at the lows, you get a squeeze up. If you're not already in this from like up here or here, you can just wait. Just wait for it to do this. You don't need to be adding into low day. Remember, this is not a good position to be adding short into. Oi. Ay, ay, ay. Battling it out here, aren't they? 50 minutes left here, folks. If we don't get the move soon, I'll call it a day because I'm going to have to take my dog out. Like I said, I'm home alone for the week. Wife left this morning while I was on stream for business. She'll be back Thursday. So today, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday morning, a little tricky for me. On dog duty as well, but I will do my best to stay with you until lunch all those days. Most of you should have made some good money with me this morning. We were the right side of the trade. We had the right thesis. And you should have locked in some good money. Low-hanging fruit's been and gone. Like we said, that hourly low, we took it. It's been and gone. We made the easy money today, folks. Here's the squeeze they're trying to start. I'm going to move my stop into the money here, just in case they want to go for a ripper. I added back on here. What's my fill? I don't know how to get the fills on this. None of my hotkeys work. My average price is like around here, 56. So I just moved my stop down into 50. So once we started failing there, I added back on. So here, clean out. I want to see this just wash down now. That's what I'm looking for. $900's key here, folks. VIX still building. Still potential another leg up. I've got supply on the VIX. 34.16 all the way up to... Did that just knock me out? No, thank God. That was a quick swipe. I'm going to move my stop a little bit tighter here now. I don't like that. What is going on here? Okay, Trump's finished talking. I think stay short here, folks, honestly. It feels good. It's just whether if you're not in it already, it's tough to get short here. It's not a good position. So you can wait for a breakdown and a retest. Give yourself something to risk off. Or you can wait for a squeeze out and then a failure, either or. Market's staying heavy here. This thing wants to die. It's just whether if there's too many people looking for the same trade, it won't go. You know, it gets too crowded. If it's too crowded down here and everyone's looking for that break, it won't give it. And that's what it feels like at the moment. It's just a little bit crowded to get through that 900. They're protecting it because everyone's looking for that short, and it's not going to give it. If everyone's looking for the same play, it doesn't want to give it. Crawford, I'm moving today and tomorrow, but I bought the course and the Ninja Trader indicator last night. Nice, Crawford. Well, no rush, buddy. You'll need to email me about if you do the little course with the Ninja Trader indicator, just follow it and email me. Here we come. 900's coming here. Again, I'm looking for a breakdown all the way to 600 if it will go. I think it's coming. There's no reason to be long in this, in my opinion. Come on. Down you go. Lovely. Here we go, folks. Like I said, this is what I wanted. Now, you're looking for this retest to stay heavy. Any retest, you want sellers, you want follow through versus 900 now. You want this market to keep moving down. Have not changed my thesis once today. This is what I'm looking for. Like I said, I wasn't interested in longs today. How low can we go? Beautiful. Beautiful. Now think about all the volume in front of the initial balance who are now trapped. They are out the money. They are trapped. All these guys now, all these buyers, they're trapped. So you want any retest of this to stay heavy. You want them to get out break even and cause this. If they reclaim this, I'll probably be done for the day, to be honest, because then it probably needs to build out more liquidity. That would be it telling me it hasn't got enough. But this should stay heavy for this move down here. If they reclaim up here, I'm not interested. Already locked some in, sub 900 on that move, another 50-point move down. This is the initial balance retest here, 900 retest here, like I said, over under this kind of level. I'd say you can give it like a 10-point wiggle room, 910, 906 is But you want this to stay heavy. If you're looking for a continuation down to 600, you need the initial balance to stay heavy, which is what it's doing for you at the moment. This little 3-bar setup. You want this to stay heavy for you. Like I said, my average price is up at 50s. No, it's not now. It's actually about 36s now because I took some off, walking it down. You're looking for a bear flag, for a continuation. You're looking for an IB continuation play down here. If they reclaim this, you do not want to be short in here, okay, because it's already given you the move. If it fails, you want to be careful. All right, I'm not looking for the longs, like I said. I'm in for the shorts. I want this to offer a continuation short, but if it reclaims this, I'm not interested anymore. That would be me walking away for the day with 2 good trades. Makes sense for everyone? Hopefully it makes sense to you all. Look at the weakness you're getting in DES and the spiders. Spiders are coming into that level we talked about. Spiders can find a bid from 415.50s down to, let's just call it, 515.50s down to 513. I still think we go lower here. I think the market is looking to fill those single TPOs. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I did a free video at the weekend on the TPOs. It's just an imbalance, a fair value gap, whatever you want to call it. It's looking to fill some of those. Remember, every bull since, I don't know why this will not show me the date. I think this is the 10th. Every bull since the 10th, is that right? Every bull since the 10th is currently out the money. All right, so 7 days worth of bulls are currently out the money. A week's worth of bulls are out the money right now. Be careful. If this pops and holds and reclaims, you don't like it. As long as they keep selling on pops, we're going lower. Let me know if this makes sense to everyone. If you're new on stream, you don't understand what I'm saying, you might want to check out my channel. There's lots of free education on there. And if you like how I teach and you like the indicators, you might want to check out the course. It will make these live streams much easier for you because you will understand what I'm on about. Starting to attempt to reclaim. Like I said, you can give it a bit of wiggle room up to about here, but you don't want to see it get through these flow zones. You've got equal highs up here. All right, so short stops are up here. That's where mine was before I took this partial. If this does this move here, you'd be very uninterested in it. All right, now it's failing to auction lower. It has the chance to auction lower here. This would, I'd say it's now or never, basically. It's this candle here. It needs to move lower, otherwise not interested. If it starts reclaiming, all right, I'm not interested now. I'll look for a new position now. So locked in my profit there, not interested. Watching this volume build down here as well. Can always add a new position if I want. So I'm flat on this now. I'll wait for a new position. Some buyers trying to show up here, trying to support the bid. They've moved from 870, 875, 880, 890, 900. They're like trying to walk up to get filled. So I don't know if short covering or a buyer, but either way, they're on the bid. Ay. 2 good trade here, folks. Smash me some W's in chat if you caught either of those. If you're flat on the day, just hit me with a 0. If you're red on the day, hit me with an R. Hopefully, most of you should be nice and green. A good start to the week. Solid start to the week. You see how much harder it is after we take the low-hanging fruit. The bottom of this blue box was the low-hanging fruit. How much harder has the trade been since then? Think about this morning. Short here, add here. Easy, low-hanging fruit. Since then, has to build new liquidity out. The danger is here, this move here setting up. And I'm not interested in that move there because I think this is the target. Marek, a winner. DPFT, Paul, Christie, ERF flat on the day. Andrew G with the winner. Jeff, red on the day. Hopefully small red, Jeff. Hopefully nothing major. New lows here on the ES. Maybe now we're going to go. Maybe now we're going to go. I don't really like the ads down here, but it's... Just say it like, I just feel like it wants to fill these TPOs. It just feels like this is the move it's trying to do right now. Think about all the volume that was trapped here. We walked it up, trapped. Become sellers here. We go back into balance. They wake up this morning. They're trapped. All these buyers now trapped. Where does it want to go? Down to here. These single prints. That's where it's trying to go. It wants to be efficient by getting down there. Slowly moving down, yeah. Yeah, Peter, exactly. Moving down. Slowly moving down. They're slowly trying to walk it down. You just got to be careful because, like, if you get a big order start to cover, you can get very quickly a pop-up here. A bit like this one here. This one here. Can quickly do that before trying to move down later. Whether that's later in the day or tomorrow, these are all possible. I'm going to give this a couple more minutes, folks. I'm getting tired here. I've got to walk my dog. I've got to get a gym session in. Lots to do today. I'm still working on my website. I've got new lamps here now. I've got a new camera, which I need to organize. I've got new wireless mics I've got to sort out. Lots of new content to film. So reinvested. Thank you to everyone who's tipped me on this channel. It's all gone back into equipment to make the stream better. Here we go. New low of day on the ES. Keeps going lower. Looks great. Looks great. Knocked me out there to go lower. It's all right, though. Are you doing some correlations when buying long-term investments like NVIDIA stock? For example, NAS hits a bottom, you buy more NVIDIA long-term. Yeah, I mean, yeah and no. I think, you know, we're in earnings season. I think if you're buying some of these before earnings, it's highly risky right now. But yes, in the room, I do talk about long-term investments where I'm looking at. I prefer ETFs long-term. I think it's, you know, more risk off. If you think about the NAS, it's an easy buy. It's QQQ. If we think about, where have you gone? NVIDIA. There you are. Or if we think about NVIDIA on a daily, we're in a good retracement level from this swing point, but we're not showing a willingness to hold up. And we've already broken this low. I'd almost rather buy the strength in NVIDIA right now. Like, it's for sale for sure, but what happens if we start letting go of this? This is the area where I'd be interested in buying in, but if we start letting go of that, there's a real lack of structure. And if we're going to do a bigger swing, if we think from here to here for a breakout, then really the fib is down here in the 80s. I'd be a buyer in here, just knowing that if it wants to go all the way and backtest, if it lets go of this, it is backtesting this, and it doesn't matter what people say, it's doable. But yeah, a buyer in here for sure. But I'd rather buy it into strength when it starts turning, or rather than QQQ and SPY. I don't mind DCAing into a little bit more because I know long term they will go up. I don't know long term that NVIDIA is going up. You would think it would, but you never know. I mean, giants do fall. Like, look at Intel. Amstrad, like, it happens. Unlikely, very unlikely, but it safer bet long term in the ETFs for me. Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, we do talk about it in the room, Peter. I don't know if you've done the course of doing it, but we have an investment fees. Where are you? Investments somewhere. Somewhere. Swing investments, there you go. And I talk about positions I'm looking at for Qs and SPY, and that's been in there for a number of weeks now. Nothing's changed for me on that. Yeah, very hard to be a buyer in anything with exposure to China and tariffs right now. Okay, you've got a stack of orders starting to come in. 860, 855s, 850s looking to get filled down there. I think this is going to drift lower. I still think 600s are possible. There's another 280 points up for grabs here, folks, if they keep letting this go. Remember, all we've done here is build a lot of volume. These guys are stuck. I would have liked this to have respected this level here a bit more. Maybe I was a bit impatient there. But this is just breaking down. 600s is where it wants to go. If you're in this, you look good. Just walk your stop down. All right, if you took this here where I stupidly stopped out, just walk your stop down from here to here to here. It's because I covered here and then my entry wasn't too far away. New 5-minute, 15-minute, 30-minute bar coming here in 3 minutes, folks. You should not be trying to buy this market today. This is not a market you want to be trying to force your way into buy it. If you're buying this market, you are guessing the bottoms. One of you had a shot at buying the market, which made sense to me when you were looking for this retest of the low, playing the initial balance. You smartly took some profit and stopped out. It's the right thing to do. So far, we're in an auction lower. ES, relative weakness. Look at the ES, just constantly auctioning lower, has never reclaimed the IBL. Look at the VIX, 34.17s today. Go back to the beginning of this trading session. I was very, very clear. If the VIX breaks out of 32.90s, we're going up to 34.35s. The market will be risk off. It's exactly what we got. We got a breakout of 32.90s to 33.60. We pulled right the way back to 32.90s, back tested the RBS level and found bids, and we are flying upside now. Everything was talked about pre-market. Understand the confluence. Trade them as pairs, right? ES, VIX, Qs. It will help you understand where we have market weakness. Why are you trying to buy a day where we're down, gapping down overnight underneath Globex? We tested Globex, stayed heavy. We're down 2.76% on the day on the Qs, and all of the mag is getting smacked. Why are you trying to buy a day like that? Hopefully no one in here is, but I'm sure there are people out there that are. Flow zones have not once told you to buy. We are in a sell since up here. Right, it was a buy right at the beginning of the day, but like we said, we stay heavy versus this, versus orange box, we're looking for sells, and all day sell right now. And I think you can get an all-day trend down to 600 right now. Very, very heavy here, this market. Delta staying heavy. Constant sell pressure in this market. Like we said, there are some small bids on the tape here. 855, 850, 845, 840 just stacked up, but they're not big. If you're joining me for the first time, thanks for joining. Please hit that like and subscribe button here Monday to Friday from pre-market all the way into lunch or as close to it as possible. If you're new to trading futures and you want to get into it, never a better time to start. Tradeify still on sale, extended their sale, 30% off all accounts, 40% off for first-time buyers. My advice, the growth accounts there. Unless you're a proven trader and you want to go straight to funded, the growth accounts are the best value in the market right now. After that, Apex still on sale, 80% off, $50 resets, 150K, 250K, 300K, 59.40 again. For Apex and Tradeify, code FZT will always get you the best price. And Take Profit Trader, 30% off, no activation fee, daily payouts. You can use code FlowZone. Looking good here, folks. Looks beautiful for you lot. Did I catch a trade? Did I catch trade today? Yes, I was short twice. I'm really sorry. I don't know how to say your name. I'm going to try it. Zahilimis. Is that good? I probably butchered that. I'm very sorry. But yes, we caught shorts today. We were short today. We were short looking for Orange box, Globex lows to reject. Once that rejected, we started getting short in here, and adds here. And then I added back on, where's 50s? Here. And covered here in that last wash. And then I got knocked out on my runner. I'm probably very premature because I still think this can come all the way down into here. Looks good here, folks. If you're being patient here, this is paying you good money. Built the liquidity, sold into it. Built the liquidity, sold into it. I was very impatient there. Kicking myself just shows I'm only human. Moved my stop from here to here and got knocked out. Looking for this imbalance down here to hold. But there we go. Relative weakness. The ES is absolutely fantastic. What a trader today that ES has been. 2-minute chart looks magnificent on the ES. Just puking out. If you took the initial balance or the IBL retest on the ES, you are having an absolute day right now. Breaking down here, folks. Bulls, they will not learn their lesson. They keep trying to dip buy and dip buy and dip buy and dip buy while the VIX is printing. Look, 3450s now on the VIX. The target for the day, if this is really going to let go, the target for the day is really the 600s. There is a little bit of action. There is a little bit of action here. We have an old point of control. Where we are now, I guess down to 17,800. Old value area highs, 17,750. But I really think, these single prints, they can reprice down into 600. Maybe a little stop around here, 670s. But this kind of area down here, 750s to 600s, let's just say. Yeah, 750s to 600. That's where it wants to go. And I will say this now. If we hang around here, if there's no reaction here in the next few days and we hang around here, we are going new lows on the year. Telling you now. If these buyers feel uncomfortable and we close this cup and we build out some volume here, we're going new lows. This needs to react very quickly off here for buyers to have any confidence in this market. Is there a paid program just with the indicators and Discord access? Course looks good, but I'm just frustrated with months and months of buying useless courses and losing challenges one by one. I hear what you're saying. I appreciate what you're saying there, Peter. But no. You can get the Ninja Trader indicator, but I don't teach you like fully how to use it. Everything's based on a system. So like the course is a one-time fee. It's not like months and months of like paying over and over again. It's a one-time fee. With the course, you get the Discord and this indicator here, the Trading View indicator all in one. So if you're not trading on Ninja Trader, you can just do the one-time fee and get the course, Discord, and Ninja Trader indicator for life. But I understand what you're saying, but that's also why I made it cheaper and more available and not a monthly subscription model on the course. I was there. I did the things that you're doing now. I totally understand. Finally, seems like I found something that works. Third day in a row, Wednesday. Love to hear that. Well done, Peter. Thank you for joining. Thanks for showing up here the last 3 days. Yeah, Jack, yeah, we're breaking down. Like I said, all these buyers up here, they got stuck. They bid against the hourly high, and they became the volume, and we're using them to go lower. Remember, stuck buyers become sellers in the market. That's why we drift lower. Imagine you're a buyer. Jack, you know this better than anyone, my friend. Imagine you were buying here, Jack. Then you tried here again. You're like, I want this to go up here, Alex. I'm dip buying this. I'm adding more. I'm adding more. Do you know what? This, I'm adding more. I'm adding more. I'm adding more. And I blew up, right? You learnt your lessons. You know not to do that. But these guys, they didn't learn their lesson, right? They got caught. So just think the things that you used to do, look for those things in the market, because that's what most people do. That's not like a dig at you. I was the same. Most traders are the same. Most people see it go down and they go, it's on sale. Buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip, buy the dip. And the dip keeps dipping because we're in a trend, because we've liquidated higher time frame traders, because we're aiming for higher time frame points of interest that we need to get to. You want to buy the days where we're having good bounce backs, where we're strong. Bear market, we're in a bear market right now. Bear market rallies can be massive and violent. Those are the only days you want to be buying. You don't want to be buying a bear market when we're in a drift lower, drift lower, drift lower. Almost hit 3% down on the day there on the NQ. All right, we're down 534 points on the day right now. Look at the ES. Look at the ES. What a great trader today, especially on a 2-minute chart on the ES. Look at that. What an absolute beauty. There's your R level. Breakdown, fails. Perfect retest. Every pop in, failing. This is your signature. When we trade like this, grind, grind, grind. That's your signature that dip buyers are stuck in the market. Same when we go the other way. You think about the days where we grind up and grind up and grind up and it feels like it's never going to give in. Those are the days where shorts are stuck in the market trying to fade every single pop. That's what you've got here. They dip buyed this, sold it. Dip buyed it, sold it. Dip buyed it, sold it. Dip buyed it. Straight down. At some point, we'll probably get one of these. Yeah, they'll probably come and clean a lot of these guys up at some point. But what an absolute beauty. Yeah, Peter. But there's no inflation. There's no inflation. Market's great. Crazy, isn't it? It's a crazy world. All right, biggest order on the book. We're starting to see some guys. We're starting to see some people come onto the book. All right, 17,800. You got 120 lot down there. Right, 17,800, 120 lot down there. Sat passive on the book. VIX very close to the top of its supply. We said VIX can trade all the way up to basically 34.85. I called it 35, but it's 34.85. We've hit a high of 34.65. We're very close to the top of that first level of supply on the VIX. Was that my impression, Tilt? Yeah. I think the Trump impressions are like the best ones to do. I want to see like a new Shane Gillis where he like comes up and does a new episode like he used to do on Kill Tony. I haven't seen one of those for a while. He's probably been told not to do it. Any of you still in this short? Did any of you take that short or stay in where I got knocked out, where I stupidly moved my stop down too aggressively? Stupid. Cost me 60, 70 points there. Very silly boy, Alex. Silly man, Alex. Silly man. He just did one. Oh, I'll check that out, Andrew. Send me a link if you've got it, Andrew. Lee Kim, you're still in. Greg M, still in. Jack's still in. Kaladin took the retest of IBL. Love it, guys. Michael Pope's still in. Look at you guys. Brilliant. Peter's still in, but only from 17,900. Yeah, it's a good trade, though. That's the IBL. It's a great trade. You say only, you're up 60 points. You know, that's it. 60 points is good. That's really good. If you took this, very nice. Very, very, very nice, team. These are good technical trades. 60 points is good money. Oh, nice one. Thanks, Andrew. I'll watch that later. Lovely work, team. You know, there's traders out there who are streaming for a living who take 5 and 10 points trades. So if you are staying with this, you've traded the IBL and you're up 60 points right now, you are doing very, very, very well. That is very good trading. That makes me very happy. Have I seen Mel, a border collie in my area? Online, she's hilarious. I haven't. Based where, Jack? Someone stopped me the other day and asked if my dog Luna was, what was the name? Something the rescue dog, like some famous dog. And I was like, no. And the guy was like, you look really similar to the guy. So I had to look it up. And I was like, I don't think me or my dog look similar, but still stay short here. Again, every bit of liquidity has been built out to go lower. Bulls are getting absolutely stomped on here today, folks. You should not be adding too heavy into here, though, guys, all right? You should already be in this. They're starting to, like, try and start to take some covers. That big order's gone. Where's he gone? He's lifted. 40 lot now at 810. So is that him splitting his order up? No, it's not. Yeah, Delta staying heavy. Everything's staying heavy. Lovely aid. Really nice. Really nice work, team. Just had to wait for it a little bit. We had to wait for it a little bit. Looks really good here. Yeah, exactly. Tilt. Exactly. Constant bleed this morning. But that one little squeeze at 10:45, and after that, slammed. So that 15-minute high was just a sweep of these to bleed out. This was to trap, actually. This was to take out shorts, trap breakout buyers. Breakout buyers came flying in here and then get melted on. And then we have all this volume built up here, and we use that to go lower. We talked about it while it was being built. I wouldn't have minded a second leg here. I'm going to be honest. I would have really liked a second leg there. That would have been really good. But this is still good. Still good. Consolidation time. Yeah, I think VIX is trying to get up to that 34.85 or whatever it is. ES still bleeding. Q still bleeding. Everything's still bleeding. No reason to pick a bottom here at all. Make sure you're paying yourself some money, though. You don't want a whale covering in front of you and giving back 100 points. So make sure you've paid yourself some money. Get your stop into the money. We're going to get out of here in 15 minutes. It's been a great opening day on a Monday. I was not sure if we were going to do this move today, but I'm really happy with it. Everything played out. I wouldn't have minded a drive higher up at the beginning of the day to get short into, but, you know, we got what we got. Anytime we get these kind of trades, we've got to be thankful, haven't we? You've made good money today. Think about how nice it's been. You've been able to sit down, stay calm, have a little chat with some people online, lock in some money, and then you can go about your day now and do something else. Get off the charts after 2.5, 3 hours, go and do something else with your day, whether it's another business, be with your friends, be with your family, get out in nature, play some sport. Doesn't matter what it is, use trading for freedom. Here we go. 800 coming up. 800 coming up. They're losing the bid here. I'm telling you, 600 is not out the question today. Kept talking about it all day long. I would not be surprised to come back here later and see us down all the way at 600. That is a big fail there. Major volume coming in here, folks. So all these buyers tried again. Look, how many buyers tried in here for 10 minutes? They get liquidated. How do we know? Big volume spike, because there's their stops. Boom. All right, same thing over and over and over again. Buyers just keep trying to guess the bottom, guess the bottom, guess the bottom. No reason to guess the bottom. We're in an auction. We're below the initial balance. Flow zones are pointing down, aren't they? Look at the pop up. The deep pullback never reclaimed anything. We're underneath New York VWAP. We're underneath key H1 levels. Is there a reason to long right now? I can't see one. We're in a multi-time frame short. Here, telling you. Multi-time frame short. No reason to get long right now. SPX minus 3.06%, NAS minus 3.02%. What the heck, Blue Monday? Kaladin only with one left. Contract now trailing. Lovely work, Kaladin. Lovely work. New fails here on the ES. ES is bleeding. This thing's bleeding. Again, VIX wants to get up to 85s. 35, 85. That's where the VIX is trying to go, I would say. If there's anyone in this chat who's tried picking bottoms today, just be cautious that you are learning bad habits, or you've learned bad habits. It didn't take me too long, but I managed to shake it out of Jack, and he's now on board with Trading Trend. Way, 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 way better. If you've been trying to pick bottoms today, have a little word with yourself. I don't mind. I do not mind if you tried taking this or this, as long as your risk was IBL. If you're a rotational trader, I understand why you took that. But if you've been picking outside of that, have a word with yourself today, please. Did you say we might see some taping around 800? Yes, possibly. Like, there's some people on the tape here, and if we go to the higher time frame, we have like this old point of control. This day we had like a double distribution day here, and we got thin in here. So this old POC, really, it's a bit deeper actually, 750s. And if we look at here, the same thing. Like, we spent a lot of time. These are old value area highs. I still think those are deeper though. Let me zoom right in. 760s, 750s, 760s. I don't think we hold 800s. I still think we're coming for here. We're coming for here. This is what I think. These guys are buyers underwater. They wake up. So far, we've got a B-shaped distribution, and we're going to go lower. That's what I think. Market's trying to get lower. Mal. Okay. Is that on Instagram you're talking about, Jack? Mal. Brandon, I used your Flow Zone Trader code for 50k growth account on Traderify this weekend. Took 65 points in my first day of real trading. Thanks so much, Alex. High five, dude. Great work. Great, great, great work. Mal content. I can't see the link. I don't know if it deleted it. Border Collie. Hang on, I can see people have looked it up. Oh boy, I'm on the edge to chicken out, close, short, and turn off PC. Too much free fall today. Oh, hopefully you've just absolutely nailed it. Mel content. Okay. So starting to find some bids here. A little bit of a kerfuffle. Still think this wants to move lower, but you can see the volume here on the volume break. Just move your stop down with it if you're with it. Remember, we've moved far now. This is a big move. This is 100 points from the initial balance. 100 points from the initial balance without much of a retrace. This is very, very steep. If it wants to come back up here before going lower later in the session, it can. So do not be adding lows. You should be holding runners or covering positions down here. There's VIX. Now, VIX has now done that job. All right, so next job will be 35 breakout. I'm going to have to look on a higher time frame here. If we get through 35, we can go 35.17. If we go through that, we have a gap fill potential up to 36.88. Technically, we're all the way up to 37s. There is gap fill potential if VIX can sustain a bid here above 35.21. So those are the levels I'll be looking at. You can set price alerts there if you want. You could set a price alert for 35.20 basically. It's mal content. All right, I'll check that out shortly. Happy every time it makes some pop, so I have a new point of entry for my trail. Yeah, exactly. You just use it as a new swing point. But you look great. It's actually been a nice day. It's been nice and calm because we've not had the wrong bias. We're not trying to fight against the market. It's the most important thing. We don't fight against the market. It's so much easier, isn't it? So much easier. John Dennis added an extra 645 to my count. I'm done for the day. Have a great day, everyone. Yeah, most of you should be starting to lock up. Just be aware you're coming into lunch now. We're 8 minutes away from lunch. This is still drifting lower. I still think there is a chance to get down to 600. I've said it all day long. I think that is the ultimate target for this. But you should have locked in good money here. Make sure you are not giving your day back today, please, folks. Very, very proud of you all. You're all trading really, really well. It's the same people turning up day in, day out, every single day, doing a job on the market. Not trying to guess, having a very, very firm and obvious strategy. I must admit, I got knocked out for no reason there. I was probably a bit antsy. This was nice. This was nice. I didn't want this to reprice initial balance, and I tried to use this imbalance and this level here, and I probably should have given it a bit more room. I think I said I gave it till 10. I'm trying to remember back now. Yeah, that makes sense. And I needed to give it a bit more. And that's cost me this trade here, but it's okay. It happens. Just be careful here. If they want to cause a pop, they can come and retest all this. They can clean these guys up. So you don't want to be short down here. You want to have been short up here, adding on pops if you really need to, and covering most of your position. You should be down to small size now. Remember the opening print today, right? We got short after we traded here. So 18,120. We're 300 points, 320 points lower now, folks. Have that in the back of your mind. Do you want to be getting short down here when we're getting short 320 points higher today? Just remember that. If a whale starts covering in front of you, they can start moving. Spiders coming into a big level here, by the way, folks. My next level down on the spiders is 510.90 down to 509.25. It's starting to tap into one of those. Here every day, when can we talk about salary? What, to pay me, Paul? You going to pay me a salary because I'm here every day? Or do I need to pay you for showing up? You can all put me on a salary. The way you do that is by becoming a member on YouTube. And I'll probably make, after they take their commissions, $3 a month out of you. And all that does is go straight back in to the equipment. So I've got like a dummy battery here. I've got a new camera here. These are all going to be set up soon, folks. I've got a new tripod, all in the next few weeks. Once the website goes live, we'll change YouTube. We'll clean everything up. And all the money I make from YouTube basically goes back into YouTube. It doesn't go in my pocket. It gets spent on providing you guys a better service. You're welcome, team. You're welcome. You look good here. Look, there's no reason to like cover all your position. Just You know, as long as you paid yourself some money and you're moving your stop down, you can risk like a swing high. You can even risk the flow zones. You can use them as a trailing stop if you want. Not once today has the market shown a willingness to bid above the flow zones. We had one squeeze above the flow zones, and where did we squeeze to? The deep pullback flow zones, right? We got above momentum, trapped all day after that. Cannot get above the flow zones, all right? So the flow zones are in control today. 4 minutes left. I'm going to take my dog out for a nice long walk. Grab some brekkie. Those in the Discord I'll pop in later. But I would imagine, unless we're going to get a big retracement, it's going to be hard for me to get back in short now. And that's okay. And I'm not looking to buy this. Even if we hit 600s, there is no flipping way I'm looking to buy it. Hey, the dead trader, these are my flow zones. These are flow zones, what you're looking at here. This comes with the course for free. You can also buy a more advanced version of this for NinjaTrader 8. Way more advanced. It will print way, way more for you. And you can buy that either on a yearly subscription or a one-time fee for life. But yeah, these flow zones come for free with a lifetime Discord, also for free when you do my course. So 20-hour, 40-module course on demand. Links down below if you're interested. One-time fee. We look good here. You look good here. Just be aware into lunch in case you get some covering coming. Think about all the traders who are going to walk away into lunch. VIX very close to trading into its gap now. All right, we'll keep talking about that gap. I've got an old hourly high, 35.17. Might as well call it 35.20. Break of that on the VIX, we probably trade straight upside, 36.83 all the way. Gap fill will be 37.60 on the VIX. So if we break out and sustain a bid above 35.20 on the VIX, this market is going to absolutely puke. If they steal that liquidity and turn inside, you're going to get some consolidation and retracement. Take care, Jack. See you tomorrow, mate. Straight selling. Give my eyes a rest. We ain't doing nothing but selling today. Straight selling. Again, SPY into a fairly key point here. You can see I called this out right at the beginning pre-market. 55. 510.85. I've got a block there. 510.85 down to 509.21. It's trying to find a bid there on the spiders. I'd be trimming a lot of your position now in front of lunch if I was you. Be down to very small size here. You've had a great move. Even if you took that initial balance short, you're up 100 points. Make sure you are paying yourself. 100 points is not a joke. That is some serious money. Even with a micro, it's $200 per account just with one micro. It's nothing. If you took a mini, it's $2,000 per account. All right, there's lunch, folks. You're into lunch. All right, so let's do a little recap and review of what you can look for the afternoon session. Don't be surprised if you see some short covering here. All right, let's move to the higher time frame. In fact, let's move to the daily. Let's start off in the daily. We talked about if the daily lets go of these levels, all right, we're going to go for this guy and we're going to try and come all the way down into here. All right, we can see that better on an hourly chart. We went over this right at the beginning of the show, so you're prepared for what might happen next. Go to an hourly chart. Oh, right here. We've let go of this guy here. All right, this was the low-hanging fruit, 920, 900. We're into, just take this off so you can see it for a second. We're into these levels here where we're looking to trade down into. Basically 600. All right, you can see it on both charts. This is where the H1 started pivoting. That was the break where Trump said, hey, we're pausing tariffs for 90 days. No time was spent here. All right, look at the single prints. 0 time was spent here. All right, so we're repricing down to where? Volume. This is where we're starting to get stuck here. 750s. Yeah, 750s down to 600s. You need to be risk off down into here. You do not want to be adding short into here because you need to expect a reaction, which is what you're starting to see a little bit of now before lunch. I still think it can trade lower, but it would not surprise me to see if you were short all day. Imagine you were, a member of a bank and you're short all day. You're going to lock in a lot of your money over lunch in case some news comes out, because then you've made your profit for the day, which is what you guys need to be doing, the same kind of thesis. So what would I be looking for? If you can get a decent retracement, if you're not already in this, if you can get a decent retracement, you might be able to think about an add. Maybe a sweep of this and then a failure. Very similar to this here, a sweep of this high and then a failure, a sweep of this high and then a failure. Maybe it prices all the way up to here, although I find that unlikely, but it's possible. Any reclaim up here, you do not want to be piling in short versus this, okay? Because this is a decent move. You do not want to pile in short if it starts to reclaim here, because if too many shorts come in here and it gets up here, they're going to be forced to cover and it's going to aim for these. So just be smart. Stick with the trend. There's no reason to be looking for longs. Shorts all the time. We're holding flow zones. All the time we offer traps. The target is down here. This is where you're trying to get if it will offer it. But just remember, there's been no retracement today. Little retracement here. Right, so we're talking about we've done 2 legs. Maybe you get a third leg. Think about this as leg 1, 2. Maybe you get a third leg. No, it's not what I want. Come on. Come on. Let me draw. Wouldn't be bad. Would make sense. Would make sense to basically get you to 600 here for the rest of the day. It would be a measured move off that first leg. Would make sense. So it's very, very possible. So that's what I'd be looking for. Are there ways of you getting short at good levels into 600? Are there ways of holding the short you're already in? Do not be hammering short when we've already printed loads of days, right? Let it retrace, let it offer something. We can have a good reaction here. Again, on the SPY right now, we're reacting off that 5-10-80s that we talked about. All right, it's very, very possible this wants to come and back test now on the SPY, and it can go deep. It's been a big, big drift. All right, let it offer that rebalance. Let it price up. Let it trap more buyers in on the squeeze up. And then when momentum shifts, you can join back in for that downside move. All right, thanks for joining, everyone. Hopefully you had a fantastic day. Made loads and loads and loads of money with me this morning as we slam the short side. I'll be back tomorrow. 9:15 in the morning all the way into lunch. We do the same thing every single day. Those of you who have done the course or in Discord, I will set price alerts. We will pop in this afternoon see what's set up. But really, I think we have really had the best moves today. Unless this is going to go all the way down to 600 and you guys can hold the short you're already in, then I think we've had some fantastic moves. And everyone else, if you've enjoyed the stream, if you're brand new here, don't forget the links are down below. Check out flowzonetrader.com. You can check out my course, my indicators, and everything else. I'll be back real soon. Please, 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 before I go, hard stops, small size. All right. One headline changes absolutely everything right now. Imagine a positive bullish headline comes out. We've done a negotiation on China with tariffs. Market goes upside, goes absolutely bonkers. All right. You've got to be managing your positions. You must use a hard stop. You must be trailing your positions and do not oversize. All right. Peace and love, everyone. I'll see you tomorrow.